Hi there, I'm Jason Fanelli, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about Magic cards. Specifically, Marvel's Spider-Man set, which is due to come out September 26th. Pre-releases on September 19th. Last weekend, during PAX West, I had a bit of a interesting situation come up with these, and it's the kind of thing that I feel like I want to talk about a little bit. I want to get my feelings out there and see if maybe I'm just crazy or if maybe there's something else at play here, that maybe I'm touching on something that might be a little more resonant with people than I think. So the PAX West panel happens. We get to see all the really neat cards that are coming in the Spider-Man set, including this spectacular Spider-Man who's cosplaying as Goro with his many arms. This spectacular Spider-Man in the sweet black suit. This spectacular Spider-Man who looks like the armored Spider-Man from Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. The Emio the Smiling Man Spider-Man. We see this very cool Eddie Brock, who looks so menacing that the only thing he would have to do to make himself more of a villain is add Lesnar to his last name. The backside of that card is this sweet Venom variant that looks like the cover of a Venom comic book. And then this fantastic Thanos with the Soul Stone right there, the first of six. The whole ballyhoo about the recent Marvel sets having more Soul Stones in them, and this being the first one, this really sweet variant art. Just cool stuff, right? Very, very cool. Lots of very neat things to check out in those sets. But then, right after the panel, I go over to the Magic website because I see that the Collecting the Marvel's Spider-Man set article that goes up with every set was unveiled. And here is where my excitement turned to, oh, I'll walk you through that with me. So this is the article, for those who aren't familiar, on Magic's website, saying Collecting Magic the Gathering, Marvel Spider-Man, the four most important things to know. Basically, it tells you where certain types of cards will be able to be found, if they're in the standard play boosters or just collectors or in bundles or what have you. And it goes through all the different things. Now, we knew that the Soulstone headliner, Alien Collector boosters, not a big deal. Here's where my disappointment started. Classic comic cards, right? So this one's Miles Morales. On the backside is Ultimate Spider-Man. This one's Peter Parker. And on the backside is Amazing Spider-Man. Venom, I believe, falls into this category. It says three mythic rare double-faced cards from this set have borderless classic comic versions. And if we look, Venom is a mythic. And if we compare numbers, his number is 233. And the collecting, if we zoom in here, 234 and 232, which means Venom would slot in right in the middle at 233. Fine. Cool. Why not? These cards only appear in collector boosters and only in foil. Okay. That means they're only going to be in the most premium product. Fair. Okay. But then we get to the costumes, like Footman and Armored Spider-Man and these. Also, only in collector boosters. 7 different variants, plus an 8th version that appears as part of the main set. Textured foil, collector boosters only. Now, that is also pretty disappointing. What if I wanted the white Future Foundation suit? What if I wanted Emio the Smiling Man or Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter Armored Spider-Man? I would have to get a collector booster. Now you may be saying, Jason, what's so bad about that? Why are collector boosters a problem? Well, that's very simple. At the current moment, on Card Kingdom, one of the, admittedly, best websites to get Magic product, singles or sealed product. I have shopped here for singles many times. And I am recording this on September the 9th, just for clarification. Marvel Spider-Man collector booster boxes, 12 packs in a box, are currently pre-ordering at $859 a box. That is a lot of money. And the only way to get those cards that they were so excited to show off at the PAX panel is to buy these packs. I don't know if I left it open. I will search for it while we're here. But single collector booster packs are pre-ordering on this website at $80 a pack. 15 cards with no guarantee that I would get the card that I want for $80. Okay then, Jason. Singles are a thing. Many of the most famous Magic YouTubers say, buy singles, just buy singles. Don't open packs unless you're drafting singles. Fine. Eddie Brock Lesnar, is currently pre-ordering at $179.99 for a single card. Now, premium cards having a big price tag, not a surprise. It happens in every set. I don't need to tell you, if you collect what the Sephiroth cards did in Final Fantasy, and I don't even need to tell you about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is its own can of worms, and we'll get to that shortly. But these are pre-order prices. We don't know what this set is going to do. In fact, if you listen to the opinion or the overall reading of the room by those who are more into competitive Magic and more into the gameplay aspect of it than I am, I play casual Commander, but I don't do the main stuff. They're down on this set. It's getting comparisons to the Assassin's Creed set from last year, which is considered one of the more subpar sets in recent memory. They're down. And things are still pre-ordering at these absurd prices. Now, for comparison, as I mentioned, let's talk about Final Fantasy. Now, Final Fantasy had something a little bit different, admittedly, in serialized cards. There were only 77 of those special gold chocobos throughout the world. Collector boosters only, again. But they still have really cool Surge foil cards like Y'shtola and Cloud and Yuna and Tifa and Sephiroth. They still had really neat variants like the Traveling Chocobo, different colors, or the alternate art Vivi, or the Sephiroth, the Sephiroth Tetsuya Nomura art that Nomura himself said, I can't fully explain to you why the safer Sephiroth on the back of this card looks the way it does, because if I did, it would be spoiling something from Remake Part 3. Basically what he said. He didn't say it in those words, but that's what he said. If you wanted to pre-order this card, by the way, it's $90. And $230 if you want it in the shiny foil. Final Fantasy, if you want to try and get one of those 77 gold chocobos, is $133.99 a pack. 15 cards. The boxes? $1,599 for 12 packs of 15 cards. That's what? 180 cards total, I think, if that math is correct. 150 would be 10. Yes, 180 cards, 12 packs, 16 $100. So what happened? Final Fantasy sold $200 million in its first day. It was the best set ever in terms of sales. Well, unfortunately, a lot of those cards didn't go to the people who want to play them. They went to scalpers, second market folks. And those people turned what I was hoping to be a fun race to get these cards into this. With the Final Fantasy set, I had traded in a lot of cards to my local game store. I said, I'm going to put it all this credit on a gift card, and when the set comes out, I want to be able to pre-order as much as I want. I know what I want. And then the pre-order prices for these boxes was well over what I hoped. I didn't get as much as I wanted. I still did pretty good. I'm not going to, I did what I did there. That's not the point of this. The point of this is, it's just a continuation of the article I wrote for GameSpot in early August, that this game, these sets, Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, are supposed to introduce new players to the game. Prices like this for the biggest and shiniest cards, the ones that you debut at your PAX panels and show off over articles across the entire internet, the only way to get them is these most expensive packs. So a Spider-Man collector, someone who just likes Spider-Man and buys everything Spider-Man, who may want that Peter Parker, the only way to get it is either take your chance on an $80 pack, take your chance on an $860 box of 12 packs, or buy the single, which in Peter Parker's case is $110 as of now. We'll see what happens as the set gets closer. And some will say, as they usually do, oh, that's supply and demand. That's how the market works. Well, frankly, it seems to me like the market might be broken. Might be an issue here. And Pokemon fans are nodding their head in approval. Yes, this is something we've been dealing with forever. And unfortunately, there's no incentive for them to change it. MSRP, the biggest announcement from MagicCon in Vegas in October 2024, the loudest pop of the day, is suggested retail price. Manufacturer suggested retail price. And they put MSRP on a bunch of this product. The Spider-Man packs was supposed to be $45, I believe, a pack, the collector packs. The Final Fantasy ones were the same. But they never said MSRP on boxes. They leave that to the stores. And this is what the stores do with it. My local game store is pre-ordering Spider-Man collector boxes at $800 a box. I can't afford that. Even with trade-ins, I can't. So I have to try my luck. Which is part of the, part of the appeal, right? Trying your luck, get the cards that you want, but I just wish it was a little easier. That's all. Because frankly, prices like this, and before you say, well, this is the shiny collector's ones, why can't you just get the regular cards? To which I would say, A, they're not advertising the original non-shiny cards in their panels, are they? And B, 30 packs is $180 for Spider-Man. Fine. How's Final Fantasy doing in that regard right now? Let's take, oops. $280. And they're sold out for 30 packs of Magic. Final Fantasy cards. These are the regular ones. A bundle, which is 9 regular packs, $100, $10 a pack. Packs by themselves, $9.50. And we're not even going to get into the Commander decks. A rising tide lifts all boats. And in this case, what happened with Final Fantasy is lifting the boats of pricing for regular cards in multiple sets. collector booster packs across multiple sets. And all it's going to do is create sticker shock in the universes beyond players that you're trying to attract. What Spider-Man fan is going to look at those prices and say, I am not paying, and say, I would gladly pay $130 for a single piece of shiny cardboard? I don't know that a reasonable one would do that. And frankly, I think it starts with the fact that the packs are so expensive. That price is only going to go up on Eddie Brock. That price is only going to go up on Peter Parker as more packs are opened and how their rarities are shown. As Emmy of the Smiling Man, who knows what that's at? I'm not going to look it up. I'm just leave it to your imagination. I hate to be down. I try to be, Mr. Positivity, glass half full, all this stuff, but it's getting harder and harder to defend. Not that there any defense is needed. This predatory behavior on the fact of on the behalf of ne'er-do-wells and people that don't have greedy, the second-handers, the scalpers, things like that, and it's encouraged. Because at the end of the day, the people that make the cards, they must not care. They got their 200 million. What else do they need? Well, if they want players to keep coming in for Spider-Man and Avatar and whatever else is going to be announced, I imagine MagicCon Atlanta will paint the picture of what's coming in 2026. If they want those players to stick around, these prices cannot continue. Never mind the other part of this, the sold out. That's a whole other can of worms. But for now, when you're pre-ordering at 180 and other sets are pre-ordering at 130, that premium is noticeable. And I think it's going to turn some people off. I could be wrong. I could be overreacting. There are people who could be saying, dude, just shut up. Just go play your cards, whatever. But it's a problem to me. And I think it's gatekeeping people, unintentionally or not, from enjoying a card game that they might like by pricing them out. But I don't think that's fair. I don't think it creates an even market. I don't think it creates an even chance for the people that want these cards to get them. And ultimately, in the long run, I think it hurts the game and the people who want to play it, including me. So that's it. That's what I'm feeling right now. That's what I've been noodling in my head. I'm excited to see how the cards play on the competitive circuit. I am excited to try some of the cards in my decks. But yeah, this pricing issue should be addressed. Because if it's not, I fear it's just going to keep the people who want to learn and play this game out and keep the people who just want to make a quick buck and leave in. Have a great night. Thanks for listening. See you next time.